at Bob Skinner's, which is a platinum sponsor of the race team. So they are a huge supporter of Pat's Peak. So we're here because if you are a new parent or a parent with kids going up through the levels of ski racing, there's certain gear you need and there's certain gear you don't need. So we're gonna walk through it today. Let's head on in. All right, so we headed inside and we came right over to the kids section. So right now we're gonna talk about U8 and U10. And the number one thing that is important for success with these kids is warmth and base layers. So there are some long days and it gets cold, and it's so important that during these years the kids have fun, that they're not having a bad experience with cold weather. So they have everything here. We've got smart wool layers, super cute patterns. We've got some pinks, some reds, black. This is key. These are your base layers. So however they start their day, they need to have something like this to keep them warm. Nice socks, maybe even some glove liners, but always be thinking about what they're wearing underneath their jacket and their pants. Then you can move down here, and at this store at Bob Skinner's, they have a bunch of jackets here. So you'll see these are pretty thick. A lot of these are windproof, wind resistant, which is great for those colder days on the mountains. Again, at this age, U8 and U10, developmentally, we're just trying to get them into skiing, excited, having a good time, and part of that is being warm. So we've got some pants down here. A lot of these have suspenders, some of them don't. Doesn't really matter, just making sure that they're warm. If you guys see pants that have the zip sides, I would grab those, because if they go in the lodge, they just want to rip their pants off. That's the easy way to do it. So here you go, your jackets, your base layers, your balaclavas, keeping your face warm, your head warm. This is where the magic happens and keeps the kids warm. Okay, so next up, and really important, is safety gear. So with the U8s and the U10s, they don't need that kind of top of the line race equipment, but they still need to be safe. So whatever helmet your kids have now, it should be fine until they're racing. But if you are getting a new helmet, what you're gonna look for is this sticker right here that says FIS approved and has the hard ears. These will be racing helmets, and if you're getting another helmet or a new helmet, I would just go with these. Then goggles. So, I mean, this is pretty much self-explanatory, and it all comes back to comfort level for your kids. But we want to make sure that the goggles fit comfortably over the helmet, so there's no spaces and they're not fudging with it, and that they can see. Because the kids really need, again, to be comfortable and warm and feel like their gear is on and tight. That sets them up for success. All right, poles. Yes, U8 needs poles. So when your kid signs up and it's their first year ski racing, they do need poles. They don't need anything fancy, but something just like this. I know that you guys are probably gonna see a lot of these. These are race poles, and you will need them later, but to start, you can just use any poles for kids. The way that you measure them is you're gonna have your child in their ski boots, stand up, flip the poles over. So these are facing up. And you want an 90 degree angle from their hip to their arm, and that is going to determine what size works for them. Again, if you're coming to Bob Skinner's, absolutely ask someone for some help. They're all experts here and can help find anything you need. But if you're at home or you're trying to figure out yourself, that is a good indication of the size that you need. Okay. So I'm with Frank with Bob Skinner's. He's the owner, and he's going to talk a little bit about skis. So Frank, for the race ones, when people show up, they already have ski equipment from years leading up to it. Is that okay that they don't have the race?
Absolutely,
yeah.
100%. You know, these particular skis come with bindings, so they're very affordable. And these boots are actually pretty soft flexing, so that these little athletes can really use their ankle. So at that age, we want the softest boot possible. And we actually have rear entry boots too. So for the real small kids, they can really utilize their ankle and articulate it very well.
Which a lot of people might still have rear entry coming into race one, and that's okay.
Please use them. Please use them. You know, at that age, what you own, as long as it's sized well
and comfortable.
Yeah. The kids are having fun, and you're accomplishing your goal.
Totally. Okay. Perfect.
And then as we get older,
yeah,
and you graduate from this kind of ski, then you'll start looking at a ski like this. And if you do look at this ski, you'll notice that it has quite a narrower waist,
right,
and a wider tip and a wider tail, which provides a shorter radius.
Yep.
So the little ones can get a little more oomph and be able to show the coaches the basis of the skis when they're, you know, in the middle of their carve. But that's later.
This is
later. This is your U10.
Yeah, when you start racing.
And again, U10s, they've got one pair of skis. They utilize that ski for all their events.
Yes.
And this ski should run between here and here.
Yeah.
In length. And that is the same philosophy on these skis too.
Yeah. And what I want to say, something you just talked about, is when we started, there was a lot of talk about having multiple skis.
Right.
You don't need multiple skis
No.
for a while.
Exactly, for a while.
It's not necessary. Just make sure you're getting the basics to make your kids comfortable. You don't need all the extras yet.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
You will. All right, so what you see up here are boot bags. Now, one of the biggest things that we want to teach our kids at the youngest age is how to carry their own gear and how to carry it comfortably. I know that you guys have seen kids, maybe your own kids. I definitely have had my kids walk up the mountain with skis falling everywhere and poles, and it's uncomfortable, and it sets up the day like for them to have a good day. So these boot bags are fantastic because they have two side pockets, one boot on each side. You can keep everything in there, including their helmet, gloves, neck warmers, hand heaters, toe heaters. Everything can stay in there, and then they can put it on like a backpack, and then they're able to carry it up with their skis, and it's just easier for them. So if you do get a boot bag, we highly recommend one like this with the boot carriers on the sides, and so everything can fit in comfortably.